Chapter 10. After a couple of hours later, the movie ended. They both walked out of the movie with a dazed look on their faces. They both walked slowly to Adelmo's car. As they were walking, Adelmo makes a comment. "I know that wasn't what you were expecting. It sure wasn't what I was expecting either." With a confused look on her face, "I really don't know what to think about what I just saw. I'm assuming this is the type of stuff you are seeing in your visions as you mentioned. I'm confused about what I just saw and why I am seeing this. Yes, this is exactly the type of vision I have been having." He felt a sense of relief that someone else was seeing what he did. This made him feel a little less crazy. Now that he was able to share this with someone, he was able to get their thoughts on what was sitting right in front of him, but of all people, he was not expecting Lana to be the one to share this with him. They made it to the passenger side of the car. Adelmo reached over and gave her a hug, whispered into her ear, "I will be here for you if you need me for anything." While embracing his touch, "Thank you." Adelmo opened up the door, letting Lana climb inside. He then closed the door behind her and walked around to the driver's side of the car. He started up the car and began to drive back to the shop, where Lana's car was located. Lana was staring out the window, thinking about what she saw while Adelmo was driving. He reached his hand over to Lana's leg, placing it on her knee, trying to comfort her. Lana snapped out of her gaze out the window. She looked over at Adelmo and smiled. She reached down to his hand and grabbed it. Adelmo pulled up to the shop and parked the car. They both get out and walk over to Lana's car. She unlocked it and Adelmo opened the door for her. Adelmo gave her a hug, embracing each other's touch. He pulled away, gazing into Lana's eyes. "I am sorry." She was confused. For what? This was something I was dealing with. No one needs to experience this. So, I am sorry you were forced to go through this. Lana smiled. "It's not your fault. Neither one of us knew this was going to happen." Adelmo looked down at the ground. "I know, but..." Lana stopped him, reached over to his chin, lifted it up. "So, you'll be looking at her." With a bold move, she went in to kiss him directly on the lips. She pulled away and stated, "It's fine, I will be fine." She climbed into her car, started the engine, and drove off, heading to her apartment. As she drove off, Adelmo had a concerned look on his face. "I hope she will be okay." Lana looked back at Adelmo while driving off with a worried look. "What is going on?" Adelmo got back in his car and drove off. They both pulled into their parking place at home around the same time. Lana got ready for bed just like any other night, hopping in the shower, brushing her hair and teeth. Thinking to herself, "I hope I can forget about what I saw." She crawled into bed and laid there until she could finally fall asleep. As she was lying in bed, Adelmo sat on the couch and turned on the TV, hoping that the images he saw would fade from his mind while watching TV right before falling asleep. He turned on a sitcom. "Maybe something funny will help ease my mind," he thought. After about an hour of watching TV, Adelmo dozed off at the same time as Lana was finally able to fall asleep. Just like any other night, they both had the same dream as before. They went in the direction as if they were leaving the neighbor's place to get to his grandfather's, but since he had no visible sight of where he was going, it was only a guess. He told Lana, "Stay close. I don't want to lose track of you or where we were heading." He could barely see a foot in front of him. Every step he took, it felt damp. The air was thick and a feeling of emptiness surrounded them, like no one was there. Every step they took, a squishy sound came from underneath their feet. Lana tripped. Her knees sunk into the sopping wet soil. Adelmo panics. "Lana, are you okay?" Searching to find her, grabbing her hand, helping her up. It was hard for her to gain her balance with the squishy wet soil they were stepping on. When she finally was able to gain her balance, he made sure he held her hand the rest of the way to the building, making sure she would be okay. They finally made it to another building. He had a feeling come over him, as if he knew this was his grandfather's house. "This has to be my grandfather's place, but by the look of it, there's no way it could be. It looks nothing like it." Feeling confused, he noticed another crest mark on the building. It looks identical to what he's been looking for. He knocked on the door, hoping someone would answer. Suddenly, they both wake up at the same time. Each night, Lana felt even more confused than before. This is now the third night in a row of the same dream. What is going on? She thought. While Adelmo still felt confused about why Lana keeps being there, he knew there had to be a connection. First the dreams, now the shared vision at the theater. All he can do at this point is take each day and dream as it comes. He now knew he needed to discuss the dream with her, since she was able to see the same thing at the theater.